And so that was just absolutely insane. That was my first international meet ever. I've never been an international team. And then to go on to swim the prelims of the 4x100 freestyle relay, and then make it on to the night swim of the 4x100 freestyle relay, and then to have that be my first international race, and for that first international race to be an Olympic gold medal, that was just something I could never even dream of. Because I had always told my mom, like, my biggest dream was to swim with the United States flag on my cap in like primetime television, and there I was achieving my dream. And my mom and my dad both knew that was my dream, and they were just crying tears of joy for me too.
One of the amazing highlights that came from Rio, and Rowdy, I love it. He called you out.
Well, one of the best highlights was that right there.
He's just a junior this year at NC State, Ryan Held. Now to the men's 200 breast, and the world record held by Akihiro Yamaguchi of Japan. American record held by Josh Prenot. And Prenot is in lane 5 in this one. Olympic silver medalist in this event in Rio, just 7 100ths behind surprise winner Dmitry Balandin of Kazakhstan.
Yeah, this is another stellar field when you talk about the great Olympian Josh Prenot, who just missed winning that gold medal last summer in Rio, just a couple of ticks away from possible gold, but still a tremendous swim, 7 100ths of a second. Great silver medal performance though.
Richard Funk of Canada is in lane 1, third in the 200 breast at the Canadian Olympic trials last April. Former Michigan Wolverine. James Durgasoff of Canada is in lane 2, just missed a spot in Rio at the Canadian Olympic trials, tied for third in the 100 breast. Andrew Wilson of the USA, former NCAA Division III Swimmer of the Year, is at Emory University in Atlanta. Nick Fink of the US is in lane 4, 7th in both breaststroke events at the Olympic trials last summer, and his girlfriend Melanie Margalis just got the win in the women's 200 breast. There's Josh Prenot, amazing finish in the 200 breast at the trials, and he looked like he was trying to hold off Will Lacombe, but then in the last 20 meters blew past Kevin Cordes for the win. Nick Zito of USA, 22 years old, 13th in this event at the trials last summer. Patrick Schwarzenbach of Switzerland is in lane 7. Holds the second best time ever in this event for a native of Switzerland. And then in lane 8, Jake Foster of the USA, just 16 years old, swims for the Mason Manta Rays in Mason, Ohio.
And the young field here, as we kind of reload to Tokyo. The oldest swimmer in the field is Funk up there in lane number 1, and he's only 24. Everybody else still in their early 20s, even though there's only one teenager, as you mentioned, Foster, only 16. His best time is 2:16. He went 2:19 this morning.
Andrew Wilson in lane 3, white cap toward the top of the screen, going out quickly at the first turn. 4 lengths of the pool here in the 200 breast. It's another event, Rowdy, where there's been a drought. No Olympic gold medals in this event for the U.S. since 1992. There hadn't been any medal for the U.S. since Brendan Hansen's bronze in 04 in Athens until Prenot took the silver in Rio. And Prenot did it on by far the biggest stage he'd ever seen.
Yeah, and this is a guy that you talk about, Andrew Wilson, who is the guy that you're going to be looking for the next 4 years to kind of fill that role, along with likes of Josh Prenot and, of course, Kevin Cordes and Lacombe. But, you know, he took a year off of Emory last year to train right here in Austin, Texas, and of course it almost paid off for him by making that Olympic team. But I think it gave him the confidence to say, I belong on this stage. You know, you come from a small school like that. Even though Emory's very, very good at that level, it's a small school and not known for swimming on the big powerhouse stage, and all of a sudden say, you know what, I belong to be here, and I'm going to be here the next 4 years, and he will.
And here comes Prenot, who's going to be here for the next 4 years as well, and then some. Prenot learned from his mistake in the trials in the 100 breast. He got too excited, went out too fast, finished in 3rd. His patience in the 200 breast paid off in Omaha, and it's paying off in this race as well.
Yeah, look at him right there on the inside. He's picked up this turn turnover right now. You can see him just really skimming along.
What a pace.
Really good pace here, the last 50. Close though, right above him. Nick Fink is keeping it close. He's not going to give it to him the last 10 meters.
Kudos to Fink for pressuring Josh Pernot, the Olympic silver medalist. And it's Pernot who out-touches him by 35/100ths, with the D3 star Andrew Wilson finishing third.
Great solid splits for Pernot there. 4-1 going out, 104 going out, then coming back in 107 flat. No panic whatsoever. I think he's going to be really happy with a time of 2:11 here early in the season. There's Andrew Wilson. You know he has the speed, the best 100 swimmer in the field, no doubt about it. He has that great early speed. He's coming off that wall. He's going to be better and better as he learns to swim this long course version of the 200 breaststroke. But all of a sudden, Josh Pernot kind of came out of nowhere, had a good solid third 50, and then just took off from there. 4-1, 7 flat. Fink keeping it close, 35/100ths, actually 25/100ths of a second behind Pernot at the end. Kind of coming down at them at the end, but what a hold off for Josh Pernot to get the win.
Pernot touches the wall first ahead of Nick Fink, and we're joined by Josh Pernot down on the pool deck. And Josh, you learned from your mistake in the trials in the 100. You said you went out too fast. You were much more patient after that, and then you were as well in the Olympics. Is that something that you try to do in this 200 breast all the time, save it for the back half?
Yeah, I think that's when my best races happen. Last year I played around with a lot of different race strategies, but kind of narrowed in on staying relaxed through the first 100, so I think that's what works for me.
I can imagine there's a million takeaways that you can take from Rio, but what's a couple of them that you think about that can help you over this next 4 years?
Just watching MP and how dedicated he is to his process just throughout the meet, how he takes care of himself, just how he handles each day. I mean, just being around the legend was amazing. There's obviously lots to take from that.
Where's your medal right now?
It's at my parents' house. They're having fun with it.
How often do you get out and look at it?
Not that often. I mean, what I value more than anything is just having that experience, just being there with some of my best friends, not really the tangible award that came with it.
All right, true champion Josh Pernot, and looking ahead as always. Thanks a lot, Josh, and good luck.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right, Pernot, and then Nick Fink second, Andrew Wilson third. In the men's 200 breast, we've got the women's 100 butterfly coming up next from Austin, Texas.